that across all platforms, men are still the majority of creators. So coming from that and making the assumption that, okay, men are the majority of creators still, that would tend to impact men more as more channels are reacting to content. Reaction to content, whether it's full video.
I just think, like, yo, and especially going with this, like, yo, Ethan had literally said in the vid, like, he could go after heads like XQC or whatever, like, in the jaunt, and he could, but he's not going, like, based off, like, the way he's going about, like, the copyright jaunt. He's going off of who was trying to maliciously steal the vid. Someone like XQC, we all know, add 5 minutes to the video, speak to Minecraft and check language, don't know what he's saying, he literally adds nothing. Like, yeah, we all already colloquially know that, but that's not the reason that Ethan is suing them. He's suing them based on the premise of they're trying to maliciously steal it. When XQC goes into the jump, whether or not you think he's adding something to it or not, or like his insight is so much like making this video grander, it's the factor of he's going in there still to give his like reaction, to give his commentary, like his obviously, you know what I'm saying, his thoughts on it. They're just going in, hey man, don't support Ethan, come watch it through me though. No, you getting burned on that, and then especially to that factor, that just disregards this, because yo, obviously in that case, if Ethan was still trying to go after like all of these bulls, let's just say like yo, she's trying to just copyright down to the max. It's not even just the bulls that are doing it maliciously, everyone, there would be a lot of dudes included to that. What are we talking about? No, he's going after these three because they were trying to steal the video maliciously. Again. We got quite the spicy one cooking up today, baby. But y'all already know what it is. The backstory. Y'all already know. If you check in the description, truly got the socials. Now, let me save you the time. Don't waste your time going to follow me on there. I mean, if you do, appreciate it. Appreciate more to love. But yeah, Trilly's like Cardi on there. I say it all the time. You not catching me posting a TikTok, a IG reel, maybe a IG flick. If Trilly would actually go outside to take flicks, ain't ever happening for real, for real. We're inside, busy on the slopes. Sloppy! Lovely. But if there's one link in that boy I would suggest you go check out and follow, it's the link to the Me and the Bosses channel. Now, for heads that don't know, that have been watching Trilly's videos and or you're new to the John, new to the page, shout out to you for watching. And I'm saying don't know who the boss is. The boss is my Dukes. My Dukes, you already know. The head of the household, the boss lady. That's why we call her the boss. You feel me? The boss be holding it down. And if you check out our page and go look on there, we watch, quite the sir coming up today in the video. Mr. Legal Mindset, Uncle Mindset. You already know, sure to love. We watch him all the time. He covers the nuisance IRL streamers, your Johnny Somalis, Vitalis, Ice Poseidons of the world. You know what I'm saying? We check him out. He makes great content on there. But he decided to throw his hat in the ring. Ooh, spicy, lovely. And decided to cover the whole drama and situation going around the whole lawsuit with Ethan Klein towards Denims, Kaceytron, and Frogan, because obviously, Legal Mindset, the lawyer on the case, baby, so obviously gonna know the Jones about law and be able to add his opinion into this John, in which he had dropped a video where he actually, funny enough, watched the I'm Suing These Creators by Ethan Klein, obviously talking about Denims, Frogan, and Kaceytron, and gave his opinions and conjecture on that from the law standpoint. And that was great. I watched that boy through Pope Diorio, and he was checking out Legal Mindset, said our John was great, and plus watch Legal Mindset all the time in the back end. Love Legal Mindset. But yo, he dropped another video today, and of course we had to hop in this boy because one of the main things coming out after this lawsuit that people are propagating, or at least Hassan and his G-boys and heads over on that side are propagating, is that Ethan's lawsuit, or Ethan just in general, is misogynist or sexist for doing this, because the people that are being sued are three women. Like we said, Denims, Kaceytron, Frogan. And I'll be the first one to tell you, the misogynist, sexist John, dumb. Because the first thing I'd ask you is, well, what did Denims, Kaceytron, and Frogan do that got them sued? And that stun locks them. Yeah, they maliciously stole Ethan's vid, and two of them being Denims and Kaceytron directly, were basically saying how, yeah, bro, if you don't want to support this terrible video, at least on Frogan's, on Denims end, you know, throw a sub, throw a prime, and all that type of jazz, and then on Kaceytron, and if you don't want to support this video, I know heads don't necessarily want to watch it, you know what I'm saying, Ethan Klein doesn't want to support him, so yeah, it's looking really bad on there, and yeah, I don't think it's about them being girly pops, you know what I'm saying, put some respect on the base, as always, like we always say. But y'all huns, the exceptions have to be made because y'all did bads. So we're going to get into it right now today, baby. Get into the slops. I know how we be. So I ain't going to waste no more time because I already know Trilly yapped this whole intro. Trilly talks everything. Trilly does indeed yap everything. Let's get right into it. You already know, like I said, shout out, share the love with the lawyer on the case, baby. Legal mindset. You have to go for it. Love legal mindset. Great. We got, is Ethan Klein's lawsuit sexist? Fast. Of course, you guys want to watch the OG vid, down in the description. First link, share the love with legal mindset, as always. And like we say on the Me and the Boss's page. You know what I'm saying? Go check him out. But let's get right into this, boy, because I already know heads out here making dumb claims. Andrew Esquire. Yes, sir.
Is Ethan Klein's lawsuit against the Hassan orbiters sexist?
Nope. Just to answer the question.
We're going to get into it today on the Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, living over here in Asia.
Uncle
and I'm
Mindset.
happy to talk about this on this Fast Facts premiere. Now, this is the last one I'm going to do while I'm on vacation. I'm in yet another...
You got to take vacation, gang. I'm telling you, Legal Mindset be cooking up, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all. But, yo, that's what I'm saying. You looking on this boy, you gotta do his time and on this. I ain't gonna cap. Yo, he out here having to cover this boy, especially because you already know it being a lawsuit, the copyright lawsuit. You got eye dropping this boy, but yo, take a vacation, man. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, Legal Mindset be putting in work.
Hotel room, yet another lovely tropical island here in Thailand, enjoying my freedom, enjoying my vacation, having a nice mojito on the beach. But I needed to come and talk about this because this is a discussion I've seen circulating across the internet and also from the mouths of the orbiters themselves.
Even Legal Mindset now. That's how you know it's bad on their end.
So we're going to get into it today and give a presentation on, is this lawsuit sexist? And I'm also going to give you, at the end, a real critique and something that I think can be levied, can be brought against Ethan Klein.
Okay, interesting.
That is a legitimate critique other than sexism. So let's get into this today. Of course, as always, I have a lovely...
Oh my God, guys, it's Johnny Somali's kryptonite, the PowerPoints! Nah, this really is Johnny's kryptonite. Whatever Legal Mindset pull out a PowerPoint and it's on Johnny, bro, it's over.
Presentation for you guys of this lawsuit. So let's start into this. And really, I jumped into this one with Kaceytron. And
oh, this tweet. Oh, yeah, this tweet was just cringe, to let alone say that. But yeah, dumb.
Kaceytron, as we're all aware, just can't shut up.
Very aware of it, unfortunately. Just came off the vid. Shout out more Pegasus.
And one thing that you need to do when you're facing any sort of legal trouble is shut up, shut up, shut up. But she is...
I ain't gonna lie, I would suggest letting your lawyer do the talking, but she decided her mouth needed to be opened, and it's making things worse.
Running her mouth. And there's two comments I saw that jumped out to me. The first one was, don't let anyone dull your sparkle, little girls, even when it's powerful men who get litigious to evoke support from incel communities that love to humiliate women.
Her favorite word. She loves this incel word. Again, involuntary celibate. Like, do some of these guys even know what this word means? How do you know that every bull that is like sitting here giving you genuine criticism, that being on the factor of Kaceytron, is just not able to bomb? They can't smash. Nope, they can't. And they're so frustrated about that. They're taking it all out on you. Like, no. I'll say it just like I said in the more Pegasus vid. Kaceytron, hun, you're busting out all these buzzwords for quite literally nothing. And the only reason you're busting these boys out is because you have no legitimate argument against what's being levied against you. Next.
This is not about copyright. Big Mama's going to get through it. Send your energy. That is followed by...
Well, today, Big Mama wasn't looking so hot covering it.
This isn't about copyright. This is about evoking incel support. As someone who has been the target of incel harassment for 10 plus years, there's a lot of them and a few who speak up against it. Men who delight in humiliating women for clicks. I'm so tired of being a target of this. So is copyright about this? Like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this issue. First of all,
again, like I said in that vid, the lawsuit itself is about copyright because, again, they maliciously were stealing content nuke Hassan Piker by basically running watch parties and not actually trying to give like a reaction and or commentary on that jazz. But the main reason that Ethan is doing this, oh no, it's personal grudge. It's just like I said in that job. It's 100% personal grudge, especially towards heads like Denims and Frogan. Like, bro, what? You motherfuckers were promoting the false CPS John, bro. Especially Denims. Like, bro, y'all getting cooked. Y'all getting legitimately cooked. But the lawsuit itself is not surrounding like that personal grudge. Well, it is. But like the lawsuit, obviously on a legal standpoint, on the documents in terms of diplomacy, is about copyright, not able or maliciously stealing the vid. Yeah.
My first argument against this is the law itself is objective. This is not a law that involves mental state or individual. It focuses on whether or not you copied work. That doesn't care about your sex, race, national origin, or sexual orientation. It is neutral as to those things. A case that is...
Yeah, it's literally just like, yo, did you do the crime? Like that, like, or not even crime. I think with this, it's a civil offense. Yeah, like, did you do this civil offense or not? You did. Okay. You're cooked on this, boy.
Brought against a woman is exactly the same as a man. It's exactly the same whether you're from Florida or California or New York or whatever. You can be any sort of gender identity. It doesn't matter. The case is the same. It proceeds the same in court. And the other thing is the impact of the ruling itself. So the
impact of the legal precedent will affect, let me move myself out the way. The impact of the legal precedent will affect everyone regardless of identity, men highly affected as well. Exactly. Like, yo, if you actually sit here and done this, John, because again, like I say all the time, stupid actions result in stupid consequences. So if your stupid actions, you as an individual, that being Denims, Kaceytron, Frogan, if y'all stupid actions got you to this stupid consequence, how is it just based off of the factor of you being women and this being sexist? It's like, nah, y'all did dumb things. Y'all get dumb consequences. What?
Pretend, let's hypothetically, which may happen, that Ethan wins. The impact of that legal precedent, the impact of a W for Ethan Klein affects everybody, regardless of their identity, sex, gender, race, whatever.
Of course.
It doesn't matter. And men are going to be very highly affected. In fact, perhaps most affected because of the simple fact that the majority of the creators, as far as the statistics that I've seen, now I might be wrong on this, but everything I've seen still tends to trend that over all platforms, because this can affect every platform, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Kick.
Yeah, it's just like wherever, like, yo, the copyrighted material was used. Yeah, so obviously this case it would be on Twitch, but it could be on YouTube, Kick, yada, yada, like this.
Every platform. That across all platforms, men are still the majority of creators. So coming from that and making the assumption that, okay, men are the majority of creators still, that would tend to impact men more as more channels are reacting to content. Reaction to content, whether it's full video.
I just think, like, yo, and especially going with this, like, yo, Ethan had literally said in the vid, like, he could go after heads like XQC or whatever, like, in the jaunt, and he could, but he's not going, like, based off, like, the way he's going about, like, the copyright, John. He's going off of who was trying to maliciously steal the vid. Someone like XQC, we all know, add 5 minutes to the video, speak to Minecraft and check language, don't know what he's saying, he literally adds nothing. Like, yeah, we all already colloquially know that, but that's not the reason that Ethan is suing them. He's suing them based on the premise of they're trying to maliciously steal it. When XQC goes into the jump, whether or not you think he's adding something to it or not, or like his insight is so much like making this video grander, it's the factor of he's going in there still to give his like reaction, to give his commentary, like his obviously, you know what I'm saying, his thoughts on it. They're just going in, hey man, don't support Ethan, come watch it through me though. No, you getting burned on that, and then especially to that factor, that just disregards this because, yo, obviously in that case, if Ethan was still trying to go after, like, all of these bulls, let's just say, like, yo, she's trying to just copyright down to the max. It's not even just the bulls that are doing it maliciously, everyone. There would be a lot of dudes included to that. What are we talking about? No, he's going after these three because they were trying to steal the video maliciously. Again.
Videos, partial videos, etc., is a huge part of the internet. It's a massive part of the internet. And the impact of that is going to hit men. So even those incel channels.
Yo, shut up, Dior, bro. That ninja clip is so funny.
Even those channels that are out there making incel, MGTOW videos, whatever, those guys are going to be highly impacted too, because what do they do? In fact, many of those incel channels, all they do is react to other stuff. All they do is pull stuff up. So aren't the incels going to take a L on this as well? So that doesn't really work out to me in terms of how that law plays out in making that argument. Furthermore, I think the real target is not the females. I think that while the three parties are female, Frogan, Denims, Kaceytron, they're all women. right? As far as we know. It seems apparent that the ultimate target may be Hassan Piker himself, right? Obviously.
I don't think that, like, in terms of like the lawsuit itself, obviously he wasn't going strictly after Hassan, because that was another thing that people were trying to bring up, like, oh yeah, he set all of this up just so he could ensnare Hassan. He made him watch the content nuke or whatever just so he could do this lawsuit. Like, no, he wanted to have Hassan watch the content nuke because Hassan is a not some nice words. Let's just put it like that. And yeah, or better yet, no, we can use words. A BHatch, right? And took months upon months, and after a whole debate that I sat there and watched for 8 hours, a shift, finally watched that boy. Nah, he wasn't trying to sue Hassan, bro. He just wanted Hassan to embarrass himself like he did on that boy, because he still hadn't watched it until that point. So yeah, nah, this is disregarded. I don't think the Johnny's going after Hassan. But in the main factor of like the chair reacts thing, oh yeah, like the main person, or at least the main culprit of this, is Mr. Piker. So if the thing is to mitigate that, which is how I would assume Ethan was going into this lawsuit, like, yeah, chair reacts, heads not adding commentary, none of this, and that's the main John he's trying to crack down on. Yeah, on that case, then yeah, but like to sue Hassan like financially to get his cheese, nah.
Ethan Klein did the content nuke on Hassan, was targeting Hassan. Hassan was the one he really wants. He's got the real beef with Hassan. That's where the deep-seated energy is. And based on how this lawsuit proceeds, and take this very carefully, people. I know my internet autists are going to be very focused on this, but pay attention. Based on how it proceeds, it could, possibly cause a cause of action, meaning open up a lawsuit against Hassan.
And that's what I'm not, like, again, I'm not even one of the bulls be like, yeah, bro, go sue Hassan, because I'm not even gonna lie. Yo, to that factor, Hassan, let's keep it a buck. Yeah, this fool is gonna fight back. Just like the Orbiters are fighting back, but it's not going to work for them, considering, one, they're already cooked because they blatantly admitted they did this maliciously, and two, to that factor, yeah, they don't got as much cheese, and then that's going to lead into the job, oh, well, Ethan is bullying creators that don't have enough money, and they don't have no motion. Like, yeah, that's real cute. Again, I'm going to look you in your face and ask them, what did they do, though? What did they do? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not worried about a pocket. If their pockets was so not filled and their whole lawsuit big bad, you probably shouldn't do something that got you this lawsuit. Could have just reacted. I mean, that's tough. Could have just gave your actual commentary instead of watch party. That's really tough. But yeah, again, I don't see what where's the gain in suing Hassan? If anything, making Hassan look like an idiot so his G-boys will stop glazing him and actually open up and have objective viewpoints themselves, that's the way better case for him. I don't see what going through a lawsuit with Hassan would gain Ethan.
It is possible. Note, this is speculative. This is me speculating. We don't know. It's also equally possible that there's nothing that would open up that door. But I do think that
I'm more along that line. Like, I don't really see anything that could open up like Ethan suing Hassan or Hassan getting roped into this.
Ethan went through this door.
Yeah, roped into this, at least legally, like he's getting sued, you know what I'm saying? Because he's roped into it. I mean, these are his orbiters, his glazers.
I do think he targeted these creators because of their adjacency to Hassan. And I also think the statements that they made were because of their adjacency to...
Yeah, no, that I would just directly tell you, because yes, obviously the one of the main things is like, yo, we all know the Ethan versus Hassan, John, yeah, they're mortal enemies, just like, yo, Hassan was mortal enemies with Destiny and still to this day. But like, yeah, this is like a new thing that has spawned. So of course, within that, Hassan having his orbiters and G-boys, like, these heads are not gonna like Ethan, and they're obviously going on their own little campaigns, I guess you could say, even though they're the ones saying, oh, Ethan Klein is doing the harassment campaign towards us. We would never do anything. BS. We know they're doing many things. You know what I'm saying? So within that, of course, they're gonna, like, yo, within them saying stuff and doing all this John on the part to get higher up in Hassan's orbit. Yeah, I think Ethan gonna feel a particular way about these bulls. Get y'all bulls clocked out.
To Hassan. Now, I will say the other factor which clearly comes in is the maliciousness of their statements. Obviously, these three creators clearly stated on video, they literally self-reported that they were maliciously trying to draw views from Ethan Klein.
Directly.
and act as a substitute, which I said is at the core of copyright law. So yes, that substitute thing, that's massive, that's huge legally, but I do think the adjacency to Hassan is clearly something that comes into play when you look at this in a broader context, when you pull out at a higher level. If these people weren't so close to Hassan, they probably wouldn't make statements that were so zealous.
Yes, they wouldn't make these statements at all because they would have like no already like preconceived bias of Ethan, at least to this high of a scale. Because obviously I'm not saying every head's gonna like Ethan, bro. What are we, Hassan and his G-boys? Everybody's gonna like Hassan. Or you get kicked out of the echo chamber, you get exiled. But like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, if they weren't so hefty on like pushing for this clout and cheese and being like literally in Hassan's position, because like I said, none of these fools actually want Hassan. They just want his like where he's at in life, in his position or whatever, which is dumb in itself. I wouldn't want that either. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, yo, bro, yeah, he got the money, the clout, but yeah, the rhetoric is terrible. So sidebarring that, yeah, all these fools, like they just want like to be in the position at Hassan's, and so doing all this jazz, of course. It's gonna end up with a couple of hurdles, let's just say. And those hurdles are making heads look extremely bad. Like, yo.
Right? So that's another factor there. And the last thing is, and this is one that may be a real criticism, which you might be able to bring of Ethan Klein. And if you wanted to paint him as a villain, and I'm kind of throwing a bone.
I was literally just talking about this. A fair criticism of Ethan Klein would be to say he's picking on smaller creators. Well, again, I'll ask, what the fuck have those smaller creators been doing? Because if you ask Denims, I don't know where her one stream is at. And you want to know what was going on in that stream? She was propagating and platforming, promoting the nigga Bad Empanada, who was doing what? Being one of the main heads that was spreading this whole like false CPS narrative, like that there was dog shit all over the house, all that junk. So bro, fuck that. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, if you on Ethan's, like if you're Ethan in this scenario, I'm not even gonna lie, it's scorched earth for these niggas. You try to get my kids taken away from me, fuck y'all. It's done. Fuck that smaller creator shit. Yeah, you Hassan G-boys can get that talking point off. Who gives a fuck? Yo, this motherfucker was trying to support me getting my fucking kids taken away. You niggas are getting cooked. Bye. Who fucking cares? Like, bro, you kidding me? You're so fucking bold to come out here and say this shit. You're so fucking bold to be sitting around here sucking Hassan's cock, getting him off his talking points. But you're not bold enough to be standing on business, and now you're just a small creator? Like, bro, miss me with that little shit.
On here to the people that want to criticize Ethan. Right? If you want to criticize him, I think a fair criticism, something that is objective, is that Ethan Klein is, if you want to view it this way, picking on smaller creators.
Yeah, I'll tell you, yeah, I guess you could say he's doing that. But at the same time, I'd also, again, keep telling heads to ask, what have these heads done? So yeah, they're smaller creators, smaller than Ethan, smaller than Hassan. But yo, their voices still being heard by heads. They still out here saying all this misinformation, all that junk, and other people are taking this info and still spreading out themselves. What are we talking about? Their small creators lingo ain't gonna work when your small creator is really pushing out narratives that's making a bigger impact, because clearly, like we said, whole false CPS junk, all this misinformation going around. Nah, small creators junk not gonna work. Sorry.
Neutral to race sex. So what I'm talking about is he is a Goliath and they're the David, right? They're the smaller ones, right? So they are the tiny ones, he's the big guy. So if you want to put it this way, that I think is something you could say, and it's fair because he is objectively a bigger creator than any of these people. He also has more money than any of these people. Yeah. Clearly, this is just obviously true, right? This is a common litigation tactic used by large corporations and the wealthy. How do I know this? I helped do this. I was corporate counsel for large evil corporations, and I sat in the room as we spun our fingers and you know, rubbed our money together and planned lawsuits against small parties or small corporations to get case precedent, to get case law that we could turn around and use against bigger people. We did this intentionally. We did this to win because we want to get the W above all. And Ethan Klein might be using this same tactic. In fact, I would say, from an outside observer, that probably is a good one.
Yo, I'll just straight up tell you, yes, Ethan has more money than Denims, Kaceytron, and Frogan. Is that shit gonna help in a lawsuit? Abso-fucking-lutely. Duh, these motherfuckers are starting GoFundMes and shit. This is Denim's second GoFundMe. Like, yo, these motherfuckers don't have as much cheese. But who gives a fuck? If, again, you acknowledge you don't have enough cheese, why are you putting yourself in risk and in scenarios in which you could lose or this could financially bankrupt you? React to the vid. Like this John is so stupid, bruh. I'm trying to tell you, bruh, I'm not going for this picking on small creators, because at that same time, why are we acting like these heads don't have brains? All they had to do was, yo, you don't like Ethan? Fine. You on Hassan's side? Fine. Like, you sucking this nigga cock, whatever? Fine, bro. Like, listen, you could still go on the video and be critical of the John. You do not have to walk away, ask your chat if you can go use the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? Blatantly say this boy is a watch party, sit there and make literally no, like, just sit there and make expressions. Like, no, I'm not going for this. Like, bro, this is another, like, sympathy victim, like, victim complex type of argument, bro. I'm not going for this, bro. Like, yo, no, bro. Y'all heads straight up came out doing malicious Jones, literally still in the vid, come out spreading misinformation every day, misconstrue arguments. Like, no, bro, y'all's dumbass consequences is coming to y'all. Like, bro,
now, you could also say, well, hold on, Andrew. Hassan didn't make the same statements. The case isn't as strong against Hassan. That's also true.
Yeah, again, I'm disregarding Hassan. I don't think Ethan should sue Hassan. I don't even think there's, like, what precedence? It's going to be off the content. Again, he wanted Hassan to react to that because he knew the better W for that is Hassan making himself look like a dumbass.
You could say, hey, look, he's going to get that case precedent, and then he's going to be able to turn around and go after others, including large creators. And winning against small creators is going to open up the door for larger creators. And not just Hassan. It's going to open up the door for many people to come against large creators. In fact, I have had my inbox full of creators asking if they can sue as well, which just tells me that they're opening up the door.
Oh, no, heads are illegal. My DM. Yo, is there a way I can hop on? No. Bro, but that only goes to show they've been slandering and spreading misinformation and defaming so many heads, bro. Like, y'all gonna get consequences at some point. Like, bro, what? Nah.
A lot of other creators I've seen online. I've seen Tectone, other people saying.
Just came off a text video. He just got banned on Twitch again. Like, bro, it's like.
Hey, can I sue too? Like, let me sue too. I want to sue too. People are going to want to file cases if Ethan wins. They're going to say, hey, I want to enforce this. I want to come after people. There's people I don't like. And that can be.
Yes, of course, these misogynist incels going down the alt-right pipeline. And they, of course, just want to sue all of us because we're women. They're just so evil. Like, bro, I'm not. No. Again, the babes, you should always love and respect the babes, but this is not what that is on, bruh. I am really not going for that. They are trying, and the one trying the hardest with this boy is Kaceytron, and it's really failing.
Be a bad thing. There is a potential for this to have a slippery slope, a knock-on effect, which hurts the creator ecosystem overall. And this is something I've been cautious of, and this is one thing that I've said against the Ethan Klein camp just because of the chilling effect that may have more broadly. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is him picking on the little guys? Do you think this is sexist? Let me know in the comments.
Shoot, in a degree it is. But do I feel like it's justified? Yes. Yes. Once more in this vid, let's ask Denim, Kaceytron, and Frogan what they did to get sued. And you'll see how fast they get stun lock, and we'll try to obfuscate it, not give you the direct answer, even though the clips show it, and they basically said it themselves. But
comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one. We're having a stream on Saturday, Bangkok time, Saturday night Bangkok time, Saturday morning EST, going over the full documents. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
You already know, gang. Shout out Legal Mindset. Gotta share the love. The lawyer on the case, cooking every time. Y'all already know. We got, is Ethan Klein's lawsuit sexist? Fast facts. Of course, you guys want to watch the OG original video down in the description. First link, and like I said, go share the love with Legal Mindset. But final opinions and conjecture. Is this lawsuit on Ethan Klein, or not on Ethan Klein, is this lawsuit from Ethan Klein sexist? No. No. Is Ethan Klein a misogynist? No. Like, bro, they gotta stop this, bro. They gotta stop this. Of course, that's what heads are gonna go to. Of course it would be that. Yes, bro, he's sexist, he's misogynist for doing this, John. Not like, oh yeah, actually fighting the arguments on why they directly are getting sued. No, 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 we can't pay attention to that. No, Ethan is an incel. He's a misogynist. He's sexist. Like, bro. So stupid. Unbelievably stupid. And the copium is at all-time highs. But, yeah, I mean, again, from the Orbiters camp. Do we expect anything else? We do not. Other than that, though, again, shout out to the Love Illegal Mindset, and I'll be catching y'all on the flip, baby. Peace.